Oh, hey there. So I want to read to you in the Bible where Jesus talks about the end of the world, because I think that that's interesting, and I think that we all kind of need to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, if you will. So this is Matthew 24. You can read along. I'm reading the NIV version. Okay, so Jesus left the temple and was walking away when his disciples came up to him to call his attention to its buildings. Do you see all these things, he asked? Truly, I tell you, not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down. Okay, so he's talking about the temple and all the buildings. He's like, all this will be destroyed. As Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. Tell us, they said, when will this happen? It's a big question we all have. When will this happen, and what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? Okay, so even back then they knew, like, the world's going to end, but when? Because we really want to know. Jesus answered, watch out that no one deceives you. This is important. For many will come in my name, claiming I am the Messiah, and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All of these are the beginning of birth pains. Okay, and I just talked about in another video that birth pains start off and they're relatively mild and spread apart, and as the baby's about to be born, they get more intense and more frequent. And so I think we are getting more intense and more frequent. Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. At that time, many will turn away from the faith and betray and hate each other, and many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. But the one who stands firm to the end will be saved, and this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. So I know that our church is one of many that is doing everything in our power to make sure that the gospel is preached across the world. So we're doing our part, all right, so that then the end can come. So when you see standing in the holy place the abomination that causes desolation, spoken through the prophet Daniel, let the reader understand, then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Okay, so let's pause here for a second. The abomination of desolation, you know, it says that the reader will understand when it happens. But what a lot of people, at least to my understanding, have talked about is the fact that the Antichrist will set himself up in the temple. So the temple right now is under Muslim control, if you will, but there are a lot of people that are like, we have all the artifacts ready and we want to kind of rebuild the temple. And when that happens, which could happen very, very quickly, then the Antichrist would set himself up there as God. Okay, so that's kind of what that's talking about, which is slight speculation, just so that we are clear. Okay. Let no one on the housetop, when this happens, let no one on the housetop go down to take anything out of the house. Let no one in the field go back to take their cloak. How dreadful it will be in those days for pregnant women and nursing mothers. Pray that your flight will not take place in winter or on the Sabbath, for then there will be great distress, unequaled from the beginning of the world until now, and never be equaled again. That's pretty bad, because there's some horrific things happening in the world. If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. No one. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. The elect are those that are going to end up going to heaven. Those are the ones that Jesus saved, okay? Which can be any one of us, just to be clear. Nobody's left out of this. It's our choice. At that time, if anyone says to you, look, here's the Messiah, or there he is, do not believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. Once again, people going to heaven. See, I've told you ahead of time. Okay, so there can be false messiahs doing miracles and performing wondrous things, and many will be deceived. So do not be deceived. He's telling us ahead of time. So if anyone tells you, there he is out in the wilderness, do not go out. Or here he is in the inner rooms, do not believe it. For as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will the coming of the Son of Man be. Wherever there is a carcass, there the vultures will gather. Immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. Then will appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then all the peoples of the earth will mourn when they see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. They will mourn. Why would they mourn? Because they realize I'm on the wrong side of this, okay? Right now we have the opportunity to get right with God, and if we don't take that, then when the time comes, we're going to be like, ooh, it's too late. All right. And he will send his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heavens to the other. Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. I love fig trees. There's so many lessons. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. True. Even so, when you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the door. Truly, I tell you, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. But about the day or the hour, no one knows. Okay, this is very important. Not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son of Man, but only the Father. No one knows when he's coming back except for the Father, and he's keeping it under wraps. Okay, so if you think, oh, I've got some inside scoop, or somebody told me, or we've done some math, or we've done some Bible gymnastics or something like that, and we figured it out, and nobody else knows, but we'll tell you, they're lying to you. Okay. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. That is how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken and the other left. 2 women will be grinding with the handmill, one will be taken and the other left. Therefore, keep watch, because you do not know on what day your Lord will come. But understand this, if the owner of the house had known at what time of night the thief was coming, he would have kept watch and would not have let his house be broken into. So you must also be ready, because the Son of Man will come. When will he come? At an hour when you do not expect him. Who then is the faithful and wise servant, whom the master has put in charge of the servants in his household, to give them their food at the proper time? It will be good for that servant whose master finds him doing so when he returns. Like I said, I want to have my hand on the plow when Jesus gets back. Truly I tell you, he will put him in charge of all his possessions. But suppose that servant is wicked, okay, and says to himself, my master is staying away for a long time. And he then begins to beat his fellow servants and to eat and drink with drunkards. The master of that servant will come on a day when he does not expect him, and at an hour he is not aware of. He will cut him to pieces and assign him a place with the hypocrites, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So that is Matthew 24. Now, this last bit sounds very unpleasant to me. If we keep doing what we're supposed to be doing, and Jesus comes back and goes, good job, good for us, right? That's where I want to be, trust me. But we all stand the risk of getting lazy, and in their heart, they say, my master's going to be a while. I can repent again later. Like, you don't understand. Like, Jesus will forgive me. It's fine. And then we begin to beat our fellow servants, and we eat and drink with the drunkards. Then he will come at a time that we do not expect. And then he says, and he will assign them a place with the hypocrites. Because that's what you are doing. You are becoming a hypocrite by saying, I believe this, but I'm still going to do the bad thing. But I'm going to tell you not to do the bad thing. But I think I got time. Stuff to think about. Love you guys.